Maybe it's the people you were with, the place you played, the situation you were in. Give us your Dream 18 at hashtag Dream 18 and tune in Wednesdays to a new show, The Dream 18 Show, 2 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call SafeTouch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke in, our kids were locked in the closet trying to call 911. SafeTouch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The SafeTouch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the SafeTouch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. SafeTouch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the SafeTouch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Repeat after me. I, Kevin, take you, Susan.
I, Kevin, take you, Susan.
It's Jamie from Progressive.
Jamie.
No, it's all right. I can talk. Progressive protects you 24/7, which means you can contact us anytime. I'm getting a loud shh sound, so I'm going to talk louder. What can I help you with today? Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, Progressive can do that. Ugh, there's that noise again. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker.
Contact us 24/7 on the phone, online, or on the mobile app. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out our brand new show, The Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors, right here on ESPN 690 on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. If you like golf, you're going to like this show. The Dream 18 Show, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Your favorite course, your favorite foursome, your favorite score. What's your Dream 18? We visit with the names you know to relive their favorite 18 holes of golf. It's the Dream 18 Show, presented by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors.
Hey, welcome into another edition of the Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors. Brent Martin, along with Casey Kurtz. We are live from Davoli's House of Cards once again. The last time for at least a little bit, because we will break the next couple of weeks. We do have one more episode of the Dream 18 Show, and this just in. We will air some of our Dream 18 interviews and shows next week while we take a little bit of a hiatus. So if you missed any of the episodes, you can also check it out with the Dream 18 Show podcast, where you find your podcast. But hopefully you'll tune in for a little bit of the show as well next week if you missed any of it. It's the first season of the Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors and Power T. It's been really a lot of fun to do the show. And we have 12 episodes in season one. Maybe we'll see if we bring it back or not. Like, who really knows? But it's been a great year and a couple months to talk about the sport of golf. We're fresh off a U.S. Open. Casey's still smiling. He picked Matthew Fitzpatrick to win. He gave you good advice on not only Fitzpatrick, but he gave you good advice when it comes to other players like, let's just say, a Denny McCarthy. He said, hey, keep an eye on Denny McCarthy. And McCarthy was terrific at the U.S. Open over the last weekend. But the sports world in golf continues to be, one big talker, and that is PGA Tour, that is Live Golf Tour, and the latest is Brooks Koepka to go to the Tour. The other latest is Colin Morikawa is not going to, and maybe the biggest story of all, Colin Morikawa puts milk in the bowl before the cereal. So if the PGA Tour Live Golf rivalry didn't give us anything else, it at least gave us that. So we appreciate it. Colin Morikawa. And by the way, it's a big deal that Colin Morikawa is not going to the LIV Golf Tour and continues to be one of the allies of the PGA Tour, along with players like Justin Thomas, along with players like Rory McIlroy. And by the way, I don't think we can forget about the ambassadors of the PGA Tour that maybe don't seem like the everyday player anymore, but the two biggest names in the sport's history, and that is Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, who also tried to lure them to the LIV Golf Tour, and they said no thanks, and it was for some crazy amount of money. So the money is still big on the LIV Golf Tour, and that's a big part of all of this. But the big story this week, Brooks Koepka goes to the LIV Golf Tour. And one thing I said yesterday about this, and I think it's pretty significant, there are numbers you can throw around, right? There are 9 majors, I think, out of the last 22 winners are now on the LIV Golf Tour. The 6 players, I believe it now is, out of the top 50 in the world, couple with Abraham Answer going now in the top 20. If you look at, hey, this is an aging group of players, that they don't really have anything left. Well, Bryson DeChambeau's a young guy and would seemingly still have a lot left, although he hasn't played well as of late because of injury. And Brooks Koepka is like a 32-year-old guy who you figure is going to be a factor on some of the world's biggest events, because he always is, if he can stay healthy. So if you really want to spin this, you can say, well, the aging golfer, the golfer that's not competing week in, week out anymore, and the hurt golfer is now on the LIV Golf Tour. But I think that's a little ridiculous to spin it that far. I mean, listen, you got to tip your cap. They got some big names. I think the biggest significance of some of the names, though, I said this yesterday on our show, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6. I think the biggest significance here is the fact that they have polarizing players. They pulled the polarizing guys over to the dark side, if you will, which will only make these guys more polarizing, or maybe just more the villain. I'm not even sure if polarization is this thing as much as the villain nature of this for Brooks Koepka, a guy like Patrick Reed, and I think Bryson DeChambeau fits. And so if you take those 3 players that the LIV Golf Tour now has, well, you take a little bit of an identity and polarization and talking point and debate and kind of fun away from the PGA Tour, because all of these guys on tour now are extremely likable. And that's an admirable trait, and that's a good trait. I believe in that trait. But I think in sports, if you just have likable people and there's nothing to debate, nothing to not like, well, then we lose a little bit of something. And in golf, the thing that made Tiger and Phil great was they were awesome, but they were also polarizing to a degree. And so you picked a side. Well, who are we picking sides with now on the PGA Tour? I mean, we're not going to pin Rory McIlroy against Justin Thomas, I don't think. Do we have some rivalries that will eventually brew? I think, yeah, because I think that happens. Like, who saw Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka coming down the road? I don't think anybody saw that happening. All of a sudden, it just kind of happened. And so I think we will get some more. But I do think, at least in the immediate, one thing the LIV Golf Tour has done is got the big-name guy, got the guy with a pretty good resume, and got the polarization guy. And I think that might matter some. And I think you have to at least tip your cap to the LIV Golf for doing that. On the heels of everything I just said, and I tip my cap to the LIV Golf Tour for what they're doing. They're going to different places. They're going to keep trying to get like Hideki Matsuyama we talked about yesterday on our show. That could be a big get for them. I still think you can tip your cap to the LIV Golf Tour and what they're trying to do, even though I don't love it. But you have to at least recognize it. And you can say that without saying, oh, my gosh, the PGA Tour is doomed. Like, it's not a one or the other, folks. Like, the PGA Tour is fine. The PGA Tour is going to be fine. The PGA Tour is going to adjust. You know what happens when the big kid on the block adjusts? Like, nobody notices. It doesn't matter that they were inspired by the LIV Tour to increase purses or to change it to a couple of events to the top 50 only in the world. Yeah, they might have been inspired, or they might have been working on those things for a long time, toyed with the idea. They didn't just say a week later, hey, here it is, we're rolling this out. They thought of some of these things. You know why? Because the LIV Golf Tour thought of these things years ago, because the players probably said these things years ago. And so maybe now the tour is inspired to listen a little bit more and to make adjustments. And when the big boy on the block does that, well, that's just going to help the big boy on the block. It doesn't mean much else. And it doesn't mean that you kill off the LIV Tour necessarily. But I think the PGA Tour is fine. I said this yesterday, Casey Kurtz.
What's up?
Tiger Woods disappeared from the tour. I mean, not like invisible disappear, but he was basically, his game was gone for a 5-year stretch, came back in 2013, then was off and on. So you really look at a decade worth of worth, and you're like, okay, Tiger wasn't really a big part of this. And the PGA Tour blossomed and grew. And everybody wondered at one time, what happens when Tiger goes away? What happens if Tiger doesn't play in a tournament? What happens if Tiger doesn't play in a major? What if he has to sit out a year? What if he retires? What if he goes else? The PGA Tour's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you think the LIV Golf is going to be the end-all, be-all for the PGA Tour? If Tiger Woods' absence, they were able to survive and thrive? I don't think so.
I think, for me at least, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I'm sure. Definitely for you at a minimum. I think it's almost better to watch golf when Tiger's not in it. Because I think there's so much, for me, when they make it about Tiger, in terms of I'm seeing Tiger miss putts, and I'm seeing Tiger hit every shot. And frankly, like, let me see Jordan Spieth. Let me see some of these other guys. So to your point, the PGA Tour is fine without Tiger. It's a nice added bonus at times, but I think they did okay without him. And to your point, the PGA Tour is going to be okay, even though they continue to lose people like Abraham Answer, who I think is a big deal. Obviously, Hideki Matsuyama, you talked about it, would be a massive deal for me in this scenario if they were to lose a guy like him. But we'll have to see and let it play out. But the LIV is alive and well at the bare minimum. And I just want to confirm, I didn't have my headphones on when we started the show. You talked about Matt Fitzpatrick, right? And I called it?
Yes, you did.
You brought that up?
I did talk about that. Cool. Just for about 5 seconds. So.
No, I'm just confirming that you let the people know that if we were still doing the points scenario, I'd be back in it.
Yeah, maybe back in it. I mean,
you get more points for a major.
How much more? Because you were like way behind.
Well, I was within
1,000.
I
picked 3 winners.
I was within 1,000.
Is one U.S. Open winner worth 2 winners on the regular?
No.
All right.
Like 1.5.
Yeah, I was way ahead, just to let everybody know. Who's the biggest golfer to leave the LIV for the LIV Tour right now? Like, in your, like, who is the big? I know you say Abraham Answer, and I get what you're saying, talented golfer in the top 20. But seriously, who was the one, like, if you could pull one back for the PGA Tour right now, who would it be?
Abraham Answer.
It's not Abraham Answer. So pick somebody else.
Dustin Johnson.
Really?
Who's likely to win a major championship? I think Brooks is an easy pick there. I think they're better off without Bryson, to be honest with you. So I would say Dustin Johnson. But I'm serious. You have no respect for Abraham Answer.
Nah, there's 500 Abraham Answers coming down the road.
I disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, is he a personality guy at all?
He has a great autograph, by the way. He literally prints his last name. It's so cool.
All right, we'll take a break. We are live from Divoli's House of Cards in St. Johns County. It is the penultimate episode of the Dream 18 Season 1, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors and Power T. And we talk a little LPGA Major Championship this week with a little local flavor. That's coming up next on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
Key, J, and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and hot today. Highs 90 to 95, dropping into the low 70s tonight. Partly sunny and a very hot Thursday. Just an isolated afternoon thunderstorm tomorrow, but most spots yet another dry day with highs reaching the mid to upper 90s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
It's a good time to upgrade around your home. You like the sound of reducing noise coming in the house? Do you want to be more energy efficient at your house? Let Florida Georgia Windows and Doors upgrade your home. 35 years of experience to get the job done. Protect your home from storms and increase your home security with modern windows and doors from Florida Georgia Windows and Doors. 904-641-7010. 904-641-7010. Save money, look better, protect your home with Florida Georgia Windows and Doors.
With PatriotSoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. I started my first business in a dingy basement of a factory in 1986. Instead of customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. I was a total type A business geek, crunching spreadsheets for my accounting. Today, my fifth successful business, Patriot Software, makes accounting simple for accountants and non-accountants alike, eliminating the need for many of us business geeks to crunch spreadsheets or wear formal business attire ever again. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
St. Michael's Soldiers is a grassroots effort to support the local military and their families, and is also a proud beneficiary of the Dream 18 charities. St. Michael's Soldiers sends thousands of care packages to men and women overseas annually. They also host special events for Gold Star and Blue Star families in the Jacksonville area. Plus, they support first responders with their Homegrown Kindness Project. They also hold events like Rock the Box Charity Concert and Stuffing Stockings for Soldiers. Follow St. Michael's Soldiers on Facebook, Instagram, and at stmichaelsoldiers.org.
Hi, I'm Pauline Savigny, owner of Grace Aerospace and a hyper-connected mentoring graduate of the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. Being a member of Jack's Chamber and involved with JWBC has provided me with many great new relationships. Success doesn't come without strong support, and the people of JWBC have provided exactly that. JWBC furthers my confidence in that deliverance by providing a strong group of women business leaders to connect with, learn from, and lean on. For more information, visit jackschamberfoundation.org.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690. Hey, welcome back to DeVoli's House of Cards. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter pushing the buttons back here in the Action Sports Jack studios. Saving you, Casey.
I appreciate it
because the laptop.
Fun fact: when I loaded the laptop up, good thing Aaron's there. That's all I'm going to say.
You messed up.
No, don't do that. The laptop messed. Technology, robots messed up.
Oh.
I did not mess
up. So,
up.
if you were my caddy, since this is the Dream 18 show, it's not like you put too many clubs in the bag, or you didn't put the sandwich that I like in the bag, or.
I think I forgot the bag in this scenario.
We
don't have any clubs. Yeah.
No clubs.
If Aaron wasn't there, I would have been calling the studio frantically, like, "Hey, somebody, please turn the mics on." So yeah, that's.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for hanging out with us.
Literally,
appreciate you being there. We're going to the playing the Women's PGA Championship, but Casey the caddy forgot the bag.
Yeah, you can't win them all, Brent. You know, I'm just glad.
That's terrific.
I'm glad we now have a team here on ESPN 690.
That's true. It's not just the two of us. This is the Dream 18 show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors and Power T. And let's go to the phones right now. Speaking of the PGA Women's Championship being played at Congressional up there in Maryland this week, and we are joined by a local product, if you will. I don't think originally, but she's certainly been a part of Northeast Florida for a while now, and this is not her first taste of a major championship. She's done it before. Stephanie Connelly Eiswerth joins us, and she will play in the PGA Women's Championship coming up over the next few days. Congratulations on earning that spot, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us here on the Dream 18 show, and be thankful we're not your caddies.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, well, it was great to have you, and I know we've covered you, I think, on the TV side a little bit doing this before. Is this your second one, or are there more? How many different these big events have you played in the past?
So this is actually my fourth.
Yeah.
I qualified since 2019, and then 2019 went to Hazeltine, and then 20 was last Atlanta, and then this year we're here at Congressional.
Awesome. Will some of that experience help you out, you think, and maybe from a nerve standpoint or what to do standpoint or just a preparation standpoint?
It does, just because I know going into it that, it's going to be really long. So I just really have to stick to my own game. I'm not a big hitter. Short game is going to be really important for me. Approaching the greens with such long clubs, I'm really going to have to, make sure that I'm in the right parts of the green, or if I'm going to miss it, it's got to be in a good place to get up and down from, which is kind of anything, but even more so when you have the long clubs. Putting is going to be really important. My speed's been feeling pretty good this week, so that's good. So the nerves are always there. It's a major championship, and, I don't do this every week anymore, so it's always trying to just keep my tempo and enjoy the moment, enjoy the golf course, and just do the best I can being out here.
Yeah, you just mentioned it. This isn't a weekly thing for you anymore. You were teaching at UNF. You're a graduate, I think, of UCF, and you are currently a pro at San Jose. So this is awesome to be able to do it, but you have other responsibilities during the week usually, right?
Yes, of course. So I teach full time. Now, sharing the game, growing the game, and then, I'm still very competitive. Players, many of our chapter and sections for the team.
I think we're losing Stephanie a little bit. Aaron, see if you can jump in maybe with Stephanie, or maybe she can take a few steps another way. We can try her, or she can try us, but I think we're losing her. So I don't want. I thought we might be able to get through it, but I want to make sure we can get her loud and clear so everybody can hear her story, which is pretty cool. I always find it fascinating. This is what the PGA, right, championship. We see names that we haven't, we don't always see. And this is kind of the case in the women's side. Same thing, right? The pros get a chance to be able to play in this arena, and it's one of the cool things I think that happens in the golf world, right? I mean, it's not like you can't, like the NBA doesn't invite the best coaches,
right.
to come play for a game or two.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think you always get a storyline when it comes to the PGA, the U.S. Open, when you get a more expanded field. There's always a storyline at the top of the leaderboard. We talked about it last week with the U.S. Open. You always have that in the men's and the women's game. So it makes it just that more exciting, and somebody can really jumpstart a career that they didn't have before.
I think we might have Stephanie back. Sorry we lost you for a little bit. You never know. I know you're giving us a call from probably the golf course or after a day at work. What time do you tee off tomorrow, by the way?
So I tee off tomorrow at 9:12 on hole number 1. And then on Friday will be 2:29 off of 10.
Do you have a preference? Do you like that? Do you like the early, late, or would you rather go late, early, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You don't get to pick. So, sometimes it's nice to go late, early, because once you finally get out, you do have that waiting period, but then you get out and then you get up and go the next morning. If you go early and then late, you get a little bit more rest, and it's a pretty stout walk and takes a lot of focus at a major. So it's nice to have that rest time. either way is good. This is what they gave me, so I'm happy with it.
You know, you're not the only local Jennifer Boros who used to coach at Jacksonville University. You were at University of North Florida, so she's also playing, from what I understand. Are you guys friendly? Do you know her really well? Is there a comfort level for both of you guys? If there is a relationship there, how well do you know Jennifer?
Absolutely, yeah. We didn't play practice round this week, but we typically try to get out and play together. We talk often. Other events, we'll play practice rounds. We had lunch with her husband. I think we had breakfast as well this week. So we do certainly cheering each other on. A couple of girls from especially from Jacksonville, and then we've got another lady that's here from our section who's from Orlando that's playing. So we certainly all keep in touch, and it's good to have the competition and have each other to push to keep playing, even though we're working full time. So it is nice to have that friendly competition.
You see this. You see the game up close and personal. How tomorrow we celebrate 50 years, I believe it is, of Title IX. We're going to celebrate women's sports a little bit more, even on our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 over the next couple of days from 3 to 6. How is the game of golf on the women's side in your view? Globally, it looks really strong. Narrow the focus maybe down to the United States. How good are today's players at the youth age? We know Caitlin Schroeder very well. She is unbelievable. And how good is the game on the women's side right now as you guys continue to grow it?
Oh, it's awesome. It's it really is. It's growing. There's a lot of really good things. You've got the KPMG just doubled the purse. You've got the USGA announcing that they are going to create the grant for juniors, putting a bunch of money into that for American golfers. So there's a lot of good things coming. It's just growing the game, get them into it, and then keep them interested, and that's been the biggest thing. And I think with growing the purse and supporting women's golf, and then as well as the USGA with this grant, getting access to golf, and then kids that take off with it being able to play junior golf and get into college and play collegiately and maybe have that opportunity to play professionally.
Stephanie, this is Casey. Thank you for joining us. Brent, obviously you guys talked about it a little bit, that this is not your first time in a major championship. So obviously you mentioned there's still nerves, but I'm wondering, in a field like this, when you have obviously the Cordes sisters, you have Lexi Thompson, so many great players, do you get starstruck when you see these people? Is there someone you go up to on the range that maybe you've never met that you want to meet? How do you take that all in with some of the best players in the world?
I typically like to observe. I would say I'm a little bit more of I'm going to watch what they're doing than necessarily go up and talk to them. Maybe if the moment strikes me. But quite a few of the girls, I played junior golf with and college golf with and professionally. So, it's kind of nice seeing your friends out here. This year, not quite as much. Quite a few are moving on and having kids and a family and things. So it's really neat to see the young girls and just how the game has changed. I mean, it's so much longer now. And it's just, it's really, they're athletes. It's fun to see the young women that are coming up that are just out of college that I've watched, through the college ranks, and now get to see them as professionals and really taking off, and it's exciting. I think it's great for the game.
Stephanie Connelly Eiswerth with us here on the Dream 18 show. She's now from the Jacksonville area. Where are you from originally?
I actually grew up outside of Annapolis, so not far from here, probably 45 minutes to a town called Pasadena.
Oh, that's cool.
So it'll be cool. We've got family and friends coming out this week to watch, so that'll be fun. It's nice to be back on the northern grass. Kind of the only thing I miss from back up here is being on bent grass. Familiar, so.
By the way, I'm a North New England guy. I was in Albany, New York. I came down here to Florida, and I couldn't chip for like 2 years. Not say I was like unbelievable anyway, but I couldn't. Like, it's just easier to chip up north, isn't it? Like on that grass.
It so is. The grain in the Bermuda is just brutal. I'm still learning a lot of it, but I have got more comfortable. I've learned some techniques and reading the greens and chipping. But it's nice. It just sits pretty up here, and it's very easy to chip off of it. I think that's why I enjoy the short game so much more.
Well, I might need to stop by San Jose for a lesson, though. If you're getting if you learn a lot on the surface down here, I could probably use the tips. All right, we're going to let you go in a minute or two, but the Dream 18 show, part of what we do, and kind of the core of this show, is to find out people's favorite 18 holes. Not like individually around the country, but like the favorite round of golf that you've played. Maybe it's your score. Maybe it's one of these major championships you've been in. Maybe it's the foursome you were with or the course you play. If I say that to you, does something come to mind? Do you have like an absolute favorite that when people ask you these kind of questions, you're like, I got to tell you about this round of golf? Is there one like that?
I'd probably have to say that there's a few of them. But if I had to pick one, the most recent that comes to my mind was a couple of years ago. I forget which one it was exactly, but when we were at Pinehurst for the LPGA Professionals Championship, and I ended up winning, shot a couple under, had a good group, and just played really well. So, I had my husband on the bag and had a couple, ended up winning with a couple of strokes, and it just was, everything came together. And, when you just have one of those rounds that it's just easy, it's so much more fun and relaxed. So that's probably the first one that comes to mind.
All right, well, I like it. That's good stuff. And that was at Pinehurst, so obviously an unbelievable place. So you could have had a myriad of reasons why that was a terrific round for you, or one of your favorites, your Dream 18 perhaps. Let's leave you with this. We're talking about caddying. Is there, do you put a sandwich in your bag, or, is there something, you have anything quirky about what you might put in your bag going into a round tomorrow and Friday, or just in any round of competition? You like Skittles? Is it whatever? I don't know. Something is there anything maybe a little bit different that you do?
Probably not too much different. I definitely like a PB&J. If I'm going to have PB&J, I like strawberry preserves. I'm a basic trail mix girl. Banana, that's kind of my thing. I don't like anything too crazy. The candy, you spike with that, so it's just not a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do like now. Can we go Uncrustable here, because I'm like a big Uncrustables fan? Or are you making your peanut butter and jelly?
No, Uncrustables for sure. The Smucker's strawberry preserves, that's the best one. I played a tournament. It used to be called the Westfield PGA when I think I went for the first time. I was like 13 or 14, and they had them at the first tee, and I probably ate 100 of them that week.
You know what? You're quickly becoming my favorite golfer, Stephanie Connelly Eiswerth.
Well, thanks.
Uncrustables alone. We can at least do lunch. That's for sure. And it would be very inexpensive lunch. It's Uncrustables.
That's the great thing.
Hey, good luck this weekend. Tell Jennifer Boros the same if you see her, and we'll keep an eye on how you guys do. But enjoy the experience, and then we'll see you back in Jacksonville after that.
I will for sure. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for coming on. That's Stephanie Connelly Eiswerth playing in the PGA Women's Championship up in Bethesda, Maryland, here this weekend, which starts tomorrow. She'll tee off tomorrow. What's that?
Bethesda? How did you know that?
Well, I knew that's where Congressional is.
That's well done.
Yeah.
Maryland is that's where I'm maxing out, but Bethesda.
Bethesda, I think it is.
How you spell that?
Bethesda.
There's no Z?
No, but it's kind of Bethesda. Like the Z instead of Thesda.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
That might be my Rhode Island accent,
or
just
idea.
speech impediment or something. I don't know. But it is kind of cool. They have a women's PGA championship in Bethesda, considering BETH. I hope a Beth's playing in it. That's a little too deep.
Good one, Stuart Weber.
Yeah, it was a little Weber-esque.
It really was.
It wasn't simple enough for Weber. I was deeper.
That's true. It took some thought. You had to know.
I love Stephanie likes Uncrustables.
I'll clap for you.
Yeah.
Listen, I got nothing against Uncrustables, but there ain't nothing like a homemade.
Now the only thing is I probably wouldn't mind the strawberry one, but I don't know if I've had the strawberry because the grape is so good.
I'm be honest with you. As a PB&J connoisseur, can't do the strawberry.
Really, you can't do it?
Can't do the strawberry.
See, I think I'm just so used to grape, but I don't think I mind the strawberry.
Grape
so I can't say I don't like it. I just think if I see one or the other, I'm going grape. Now, if you only had strawberry for me, I'd probably take it.
I would.
And like it.
I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Strawberry is not for me, but maybe that's why she's a great golfer and I'm not.
all because
maybe that's what you need.
All because of the Uncrustables.
The strawberry.
One other thing, like, so are you a guy, like, if you eat Skittles,
yeah, sour
or like
Skittles.
Mike and Ike's, like, do you not like the yellow ones? Because there are some people that don't like that, and I'm like, it doesn't even taste any different.
Yeah, it does, Brent.
No,
First of all,
it doesn't.
It does, Brent. First of all, and yes, I will eventually eat all the Skittles, but if I pull out a red one, it's going back in.
Red's going back in.
Back in.
Well, you're just
Purple,
flat out weird.
Purple, yellow, orange, elite. Elite purple, yellow, orange.
Everybody goes red first, though. That's what they take. Like
Absolutely
if
not.
there are starbursts,
you're
going red and pink. Well, first you're going pink, then you're going
Pink,
red,
no.
and you're keeping yellow for later.
No. I like yellow. Yellow's elite.
We'll get into maybe more. We're going to have to evolve this conversation a little bit later. So anyway, Women's Championship coming up. Very cool with Stephanie Connelly Eiswerth and Jennifer Burrows also playing. Jennifer was the JU coach for a long time. Her husband, Matt Burrows, is I'm not going to get his title right, but let's just call him Director of Golf or Head Pro at TPC Sawgrass. And so nice local connections here. With the women's golf, and good luck to both of them. It's really cool. We were talking about it when we lost Stephanie on the phone for a moment, and it is kind of unique in this sport. Like, I don't know. I mean, U.S. Open is open because of what? It's open invitational.
Yeah.
If you're good enough, you can play. You have to qualify, earn your way in. There are spots for you. PGA Championship is kind of like that, but for a select group of people. PGA pros, like they hold us. I don't even know the amount of spots, but there is nothing like that, is there? I mean, none of our major sports have anything like that where they hold a spot for a certain segment of the population. You know, the closest thing you can find right now, and I forget the name of the program, but it's like an overseas program to grow the game that the NFL is doing where they're holding a roster spot, an extra practice squad spot, and the Jags have a safety from over in England who's over here, and Stuart Weber just did a story on him. And so, but like that's like a new thing to grow the game. But I'm trying to think of a sport that does it. It makes golf unique. I'm not sure it's talked about enough. I think during the PGA Championship week, you see the names of the pros. I think they try to highlight the names of the pros to promote the game and give those guys a tip of the cap. They'll do the same this week for the Women's Championship. But I'm just saying, across the board, there's very few things like that in the sports world that you would reserve the opportunity for people like Stephanie and Jennifer Burrows to make it into this event, which I think is really cool.
The only thing I can really think of, and it's absolutely not the same, but again, it's the closest thing I can think of, is in racing. And I don't necessarily want to say NASCAR because I don't think you can get to like the Cup Series, but if you have the money to like have a car and have a race team, you can get in, right? Like you have the opportunity to work your way in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like granted, you have to have the money and the car and all that. So like there are a lot of things that most people don't have, but you can earn your way into a race in that sport.
Yeah.
But in terms of what you're saying with like a team sport, there's very often or very not often that you're not a professional in that level, and they're like, hey, come play first base. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, good point. Let's go back to the Live Golf versus PGA Tour conversation we were having.
Okay.
And we haven't really talked much over the last couple of days about the PGA Tour side of things. They had a meeting yesterday before the Travelers Championship, and apparently, according to reports, ESPN and others said it was a very well-received meeting from the players. Jay Monahan, like it wasn't like this panic meeting. It was more, this is our response. This is what we're doing. You don't know the terminology being played there. But do you like the concepts coming out of there? Bigger purses looks like certainly is going to be one of the ramifications of this at some point. Looks like a schedule shift of some kind could take place. And then these premier events that feature the best players on tour only. Kind of like the FedEx Cup tries to do. It looks like there might be more of those with bigger prize money. Do you like some of those conceptual ideas if you were a player standpoint and also from the PGA Tour? And if you want to view it as a response to Live Golf or not, but let's just take it as an isolation point. Is this better for the game of golf, the PGA Tour, to do stuff like this?
I like some of it. I don't like all of it. I like the purse part of it, the more money you can make, which I don't really know why. I'm not making any of that money, but I think it is crazy when you look at what you get if you win, which is totally deserved, and then if you come in last making the cut. It's still good money, don't get me wrong, but there is a discrepancy there. So, and I think if they wanted to do that or not, they kind of got their hand forced with Live Golf doing that. So that's one that I can get behind. I don't like the one that you finished talking about with tournaments for like the elite players only. That's why I think the FedEx Cup playoffs are special when you get to the Tour Championship and there's only 30 guys and it's the best 30 from the year. I don't like the idea that I'm going to go watch an event that's not a major, that doesn't really mean anything because you can't put FedEx Cup points on the line in an event you don't let everybody in. So you're playing in an event that's probably for more money, but there's no FedEx Cup points and it's not a major championship. What does that sound like? Sounds like Live Golf to me.
Yeah, and who knows, right? Will they? I'm watching it. I'm looking at a thread right now. Kyle Porter covers golf for CBS. No laying up is part of this thread, and I'll just read you this. This will get you thinking, okay? In the way that this stuff is coming about, and again, like I don't think it's a big deal. Hey, hats off to Live Golf if they were the ones to push the PGA Tour to be even better.
Yeah,
like you need competition sometimes. PGA Tour really didn't have competition; they had a bunch of allies. So. Like, Brooks Koepka wasn't wrong right there. There were no other options.
Yeah.
But, by the way, all our major sports are kind of like that. I mean, NFL's like that. Who's pushing the NFL?
Definitely not the USFL.
The only thing that pushes the NFL is the CBA every 10 years. And they usually don't push it enough.
Yeah.
And so they settle. So, anyway, the game has grown. The PGA Tour has grown. Tiger Woods deserves the most credit for any player getting the amount of money they currently get, which a year ago everybody was saying thank you, and now all of a sudden they're saying it's not enough, right?
Yeah.
Based on what the Live Golf Tour is doing. Well, some guy asks, he starts this thread with the new bag of money from the PGA Tour showing up in 3 weeks, can we agree on the fact that Phil was right about the economics of the tour and has benefited tour players forever? Which is a little confusing at the end, but I think I get what he's saying. Kyle Porter then says, Phil said the tour is sitting on $20 billion dollars that is refused to unearth. So, however, he did hit on some things that the tour needed to change, and question mark is changing. He just did it in the absolute worst way imaginable.
That is probably true.
And I think then No Laying Up says, also, these proposed events are not official yet, have not been sold to sponsors. A lot of wow, the tour found some cash really quick reactions ignore both of these facts and how the tour operates as a whole, which they, usually will get sponsorship dollars and blah, 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 blah to cover it. Here's the thing. I think this is very interesting because, okay, if you're sitting on a pile of cash, this is no different than the NFL players saying, I want 50% of the pie. You're making this much. We now should be increased on what we make. Right? That's what basically the players are saying.
Yeah.
The problem is they're not unionized to that degree like the CBAs in Major League Baseball, and they're not going to lock out. They're all individual subcontractors. So it's just not built that way, and there's benefits to being that way, by the way, too. But it's like, can you have it both ways? Well, the Live Golf thing has pushed us to the point where it's almost like the PGA Tour union is Live Golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're the one forcing the change. And I also say this. Hey, Phil, you have made a ton of money.
Lots.
In the last 25 years.
Tons.
And by the way, you wouldn't have made X amount of money, even though you're supremely talented, without one, the tour, and really one, Tiger Woods.
Agree.
So it's like, when is enough enough? I just don't understand. And maybe, maybe the PGA Tour should share more of its money, but they also give back a ton of money. And they're like this non-for-profit type thing. It's not like they're sitting there pocketing it all. I mean, people get paid handsomely at the tour. Some do. But there's like this nest egg, I think, that also helped them get through the pandemic and other things, right?
Yeah.
I'm not totally defending the tour here. It's just like, Phil, you've made a ton of money because of the tour and because of Tiger, not even because of you, and you're going to go cash in even more and kind of flip off the tour.
Yeah.
And kind of you're flipping off Tiger in a sense, too.
In a way. Yeah, absolutely.
So, you could have done this better, Phil.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt it could have been handled better for sure. But too late.
And I still say this, too. How many times has the tour protected these players that are now jumping ship? Because I'm convinced they protected Phil Mickelson over the years from some things.
Well, they protected Dustin Johnson a little bit as well.
And others.
Yeah, for sure. So, real quick before we go to break, we'll talk about it on the other side, but I don't know if you saw this from Michael Collins, and it has to do with what the European Tour has decided to do with the LIV golfers versus what the PGA Tour has done, and we might now see a rift or a split decision between the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour, which I think will be fascinating.
Well, let's look into that when we come back, plus our Power Tee picks of the week for the Travelers Championship on ESPN 690. We're live from DeVoley's House of Cards. Back right after this.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and the local coverage on ESPN 690 is expanding yet again. After Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we have been bringing you overtime on Mondays and Thursdays, but that has now changed. You can catch Brian Middleton and myself daily after Action Sports Jax and leading you into Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. So starting at 3 p.m. daily, we will have local coverage all night from Action Sports Jax to OT to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, all right here on ESPN 690.
It's a good time to upgrade around your home. You like the sound of reducing noise coming in the house? Do you want to be more energy efficient at your house? Let Florida Georgia Windows and Doors upgrade your home. 35 years of experience to get the job done. Protect your home from storms and increase your home security with modern windows and doors from Florida Georgia Windows and Doors. 904-641-7010. 904-641-7010. Save money. Look better. Protect your home with Florida Georgia Windows and Doors.
I've never been the old guy, but I'm starting to feel like the old guy. It hurts when I wake up in the morning. I'm probably not alone, but you want to get after the day, go exercise, play with the kids, be active. It's the most active season of the year right now. But if you have joint pain, you can't live like you want to live. Hip pain, knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. It really sucks the fun out of living. QC Kinetics is helping you get the fun back with advanced regenerative treatments from local medical professionals. Get a totally free in-office consultation by calling 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. Regenerative medicine is the hottest thing going, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in these cutting-edge, all-natural options. You can get real relief from pain with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. So stop putting it off. Call QC Kinetics right now for a totally free in-office consultation. 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. Feel better with QC Kinetics.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Progressive presents Married to Your Home.
I'm such a screw-up.
What? House? Why would you talk like that?
How are you even with a house without a walk-in closet?
Stop. You have more than enough storage.
Oh yeah, and the unfinished basement. Gross.
We'll finish it eventually. Together.
No matter how much you already love your house, you'll love it more knowing you could save big bundling your home and auto with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
So sticky. At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey Dad, cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Juice, Mom. Juice, juice, juice. Mommy, why are we going to the store? Mom, I want juice. Mom, juice, Mommy, juice, Mom. Juice.
Your child will have different needs at different stages of life, and that includes the car seat. That's right, the car seat. A car seat isn't one size fits all. You have to have the right seat based on your child's age, weight, and height. See, car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. But there's a website that gives you all the information you need. safercar.gov/the right seat. You'll find out about types of seats, when to have a seat rear-facing, when to switch it to forward-facing, when it's time for a booster seat, and when it's time for your child to ride in the back seat with a seatbelt. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat. That's safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Dream 18 Show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors and Power Team. We'll have our Power Team picks of the week in just a moment. Brent Martin, Casey Kurtz. We're live at Tivoli's House of Cards. 2 more episodes of the Dream 18 Show. 1 more coming up next Wednesday. We will play some of our interviews and past performances, if you will, next week.
Yeah, we
From
will.
3 to 6. Might be a Dream 18 Show week.
It literally
what
will be.
I think Casey Kurtz is planning.
That's the
While we take a little bit of a hiatus and prepare for ESPN 690 2.0. The next generation, as Aaron Schechter.
That's a good
says.
one. Aaron came up with that?
That's what he said yesterday. Yeah, everything's like the next generation.
Never
next
mind.
gen.
I hate it
ESPN
again.
690 Next Gen.
I hate it again. Never mind. It was good until then.
We were talking about purses, by the way. I'm just
Didn't
looking at
Star
the
Trek.
note to the players. 8 tournaments going up like big bucks next year in 23. Century of Champions. Well, I'm not going to read off those. Players is included in some of their big events, but from $8 million to $15 million, $12 million to $20 million purse, 12 to 20, 20 to 25 at the players, 12 to 20 at the Dell Technologies Match Play, 12 to 20 at the Memorial. I think it's funny, by the way, that's presented by Workday, who Phil used to wear the shirts for.
Yep.
15 to 20 at the FedEx St. Jude, and at the BMW Championship, 15 to 20. So some of the bigger events that will flip around. Those are the
BMW
2022 up from the 2022 numbers to 23. Pretty significant.
Interesting. The BMW and not the Northern Trust. So the
Yeah.
second playoff event, but not the first one. So if you're in the first one, not good enough. You got to get to the second one. I respect it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyway, they're beefing stuff up, and they're motivated right now. It's an inspiration of sorts from the PGA Tour. And listen, those things are good. That's why, I just haven't looked at this as the death nail and also an extremely bad thing for the consumer. The consumer's the biggest beneficiary. You see more golf, and if you really like golf's being talked about a lot, not just here on the Dream 18 show for an hour, but everywhere. We've got golf on TV on our sportscasts on the weekends. We've got golf in our 3 to 6 show. Golf's being talked about on ESPN. I mean, not a bad time right now for the sport of golf.
It's really good.
And when you get to talk golf and there's no Tiger Woods involved, it's a pretty big story. So, I think this would be a great historical chapter in the game of golf. We're living through it right now. I always love when you can feel that stuff. And we're living through this historic time in the timeline of professional golf. We're going to look when you're 50 years old, 25 years from now, whatever golf looks like, you're going to reference this time period.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fascinating to me when we get a chance to live through those and it's happening. You don't always know that stuff's happening.
Yeah.
But we know that is happening. The game is changing to some degree, and I don't think it's survival of the fittest. I think it could be survival of both. And if there's going to be a winner here, I still think the PGA Tour is going to prevail at the end of the day. But you bring up something interesting about the European Tour. Mm-hmm. They've been allies with just about everyone across the globe outside of LIV Golf. But the European Tour did something and has a ruling that could upset that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, otherwise known as the European Tour, have done a good job aligning themselves. But this might be the friction that changes that. Michael Collins, who covers golf for ESPN, he always has great outfits. That's why you may know him. But LIV players will be permitted to play in next week's DP World Tour event in Germany. It is just an event. It is obviously not a major championship because if you don't know, the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour, the majors are the same. There are prestigious events on the DP World Tour, but this is just an event in Germany. But that obviously goes against the PGA Tour suspension of their players. They cannot play at all, and the DP World Tour is now letting those guys that are qualified for the event. You have to be qualified. You can't just show up. If you're Chase Koepka, for example, you have to be qualified. And if Chase, if you're already
means
qualified.
Half the roster for LIV Golf probably can't qualify.
Yeah, but like guys like Richard Bland, for example, I'm sure he is qualified for that. Yeah. So they are allowed to play. So I think that will be a fascinating how they play that out from there if they don't suspend them, because as of now, those guys are not suspended and eligible to play in Germany. There's no LIV event this week. I doubt Justin Johnson goes to Germany, but I'm sure some of those guys that already live in Europe will absolutely go for that.
We will see what happens if there's a little bit of a split, a divide, or there's they draw an alliance. I think that's still critical on the major championships. I think the PGA Tour can be a big winner on the major championships if they continue to side with the powers that be. If they give way to LIV at all, then this opens the door for LIV to really be a rival league. I still think those are the key holders, the major championships, how they react to this down the road. Not this year, it's too new, but down the road. I still think it's a major, major part of this. And players continue to be too, but I think U.S. Open is.
But to that point, I think with guys like Dustin Johnson, for example, we'll just take him. He's, like I said, the majors are the same, so he's exempt on the DP World Tour as well. So if the PGA Tour aligns with the majors, but the DP World Tour would also be allowing LIV players to play on their tour, Dustin Johnson, those guys could play in majors as DP members. It's crazy. So the PGA Tour could win that fight and lose if the DP World Tour decides to go against them, which would be wild.
Yeah, it almost feels like doing your taxes. Like there's probably loopholes.
Amen, brother. You said it, not me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with the tax people.
I don't either, but I just feel like I've heard people say loopholes in taxes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
All right, give us your Power T picks of the week. What you got?
Sure, Travelers Championship. Couple things that I should note. If you didn't know, Brooks Koepka not in the field. Please don't pick him.
Yeah,
he is available in DraftKings because they don't actually take the people out of the lineup. Also, Justin Thomas withdraws, but don't worry, folks.
He's not going.
He's not going anywhere. He tweeted about it. He has a back issue, so no JT. Leaving the top 5 players in the field being Scheffler, Rory, Sam Burns, Cantlay, and Schauffele. But the field does die off as it goes, as you go down the list of players in the field. The depth is not there, although a guy that Brent brought up yesterday that I think was a little disrespectful, but I wrote about him this morning. I did some research. Davis Riley. Since the Zurich Classic, Brent, let me see if I can remember the stat. Late April, the Zurich Classic. Since that time, he's played in 7 events. 6 of them are top 13 finishes or better. Hasn't missed a single cut in that stretch. He's gone from 150th in the FedEx Cup to 22nd. So he's playing incredible. So Davis Riley, and not that expensive in daily fantasy. So Davis Riley's a guy I'm interested in. Denny McCarthy, the disrespect continues. The last 2 finishes 7th and 5th, including obviously at the U.S. Open. He's under the average value on DraftKings, so I'm interested in that. Jason Day is a boomer bust option. He's won here before. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but he is extremely cheap. So Jason Day is a guy I'm looking at. And Brent.
What about our friend Russell Knox?
Is he in the field?
Should be in the field as a past winner. I think he just celebrated his birthday. Happy birthday, Russell Knox.
He did. I saw that tweet as well. Russell Knox is in the field and ridiculously cheap. There's some disrespect there as well.
Horses for courses, right?
Yeah. Anytime you're playing in an event that you've won before, obviously there's that situation. You've got him. You also have Ches Reavie, who's won here before. So Russell Knox, though, very cheap for a former winner. And don't forget about K.H. Lee. Don't sleep on the boy, K.H. Lee. Don't sleep on him.
For good reason. He does well for you.
He does.
All right, that's it for the Dream 18 show. One more episode next Wednesday, 2 o'clock. But we're not going anywhere. We have Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 live from Tivoli's House of Cards. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter. We had some special guests. We're going to celebrate women in sports, especially with a tie to the Jacksonville area. Title IX 50th anniversary is this week. And we're going to start the show off in a big way. Carson Pickett, who's now playing a couple of friendlies with the U.S. women's national team, is going to join us right off the rip today. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Carson Pickett, part of the St. John's Country Day dynasty in girls soccer. We catch up with her to start off the show on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 when we come back. That's the Dream 18 show, sponsored by Florida Georgia Windows and Doors and Power T. One more week of this show next week. You can always check it out on the podcast as well. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
It's a good time to upgrade around your home. You like the sound of reducing noise coming in the house? Do you want to be more energy efficient at your house? Let Florida Georgia Windows and Doors upgrade your home. 35 years of experience to get the job done. Protect your home from storms and increase your home security with modern windows and doors from Florida Georgia Windows and Doors. 904-641-7010. 904-641-7010. Save money, look better, protect your home with Florida Georgia Windows and Doors.
A proud sponsor of the Dream 18 is Power T. Find out everything you need to know about them at PowerT.com because they just make golf better. They provide an automatic teeing system while you are on the range. It is easy. No bending, no extra energy. Just worry about making contact, or trying to, and then Power T will tee up another ball for you. Locally, find Power T at Fleming Island and Blue Sky Golf Club and all over the world, including St. Andrews.